round 2, currently 1-0. On the play, hand is pretty good. Life is good. So while you have time to cycle sensors and illuminations, you often don't have time to cycle fetid pools. And also, I only have 4 lands in my hand. So just gonna play this out. Might be a mirror match. That could be kind of fun. Wouldn't mind playing one of those. Exactly one. No more, no less. Alright, they're cycling illumination, so it looks like a mirror. So maybe my hand is not very good. You do want to hit your land drops, but I also want to transform this thing at some point. So now we have 3 dead removal spells that we can discard. I'm just going to F6 because I assume that they're not going to do anything. Trashing a Gearhulk is bad. Like, I don't think it's horrible. It's just like they probably need to, right? But it's like this is like the best card. I'm not gonna put a sensor in the graveyard because I can always just cycle it, and I am gonna have the mana. So I think I would prefer to have that for to stop a draw 2 maybe, if they decide to do that on turn 4. So they're probably going to transform their search faster than me because they are aggressively bidding cards and also have a bunch of evolving wilds. So they're going to not play a draw 2 this turn. I think I can just cycle sensor then. Mostly because I want to hit a land drop. If I was hitting my land drops, then I wouldn't really care. I'm just going to trash this to try and get closer to search. So we're not in a very good spot right now because they're going to have search online faster than us, and our hand has no relevant cards, basically. So Sam's was the only one that had Supreme Will, and he had 3 Gearhulks. So they still have 2 Gearhulks and 2 Scarab Gods left. So that is what we must contend with. And now they have Azcanta online. Scary stuff. Cannot put a disallow into my graveyard. That is not allowed. So this is probably not going to be very much fun for people because we're just going to sit here for a while. They're discarding, which is great. Yeah, can't put disallow in the graveyard. It's not okay. We are kind of looking for a Field of Ruin, but not really. They can keep doing this all they want as long as they're not making land drops. I'll just keep making my land drops. You can keep searching all you want. Try and stay ahead on time, because it could come down to that. So they picked up a sensor that they're almost certainly going to cycle. Yup. Essence Scatter is relevant. Maybe we're just going to be on the deck them plan. They're just discarding a bunch. And they discarded a scatter. So yeah, basically, I could just try and deck them because they're going like pretty deep into their library. They have 10 cards in their hand? It's just absurd. They discarded 2 scatters. Search, like, backup search is actually relevant if they had a Field of Ruin. I guess I can get rid of that scatter since they just keep discarding all of them. Their hand has to be pretty good if they're just like discarding scatters. I mean, it's going to be like some amount of threats and things like that, but yeah, backup search is fine since the damage is mostly already done. And ideally what we do is find cyclers / draw 2s and try and hit our land drops now. They have 9 lands, we have 9 lands, so we're basically at parity because they've been sculpting a little bit more, but like our draw steps have just naturally been pretty good. But they're also 10 cards deeper than us, so I think we're on the deck them plan currently. Oh no, Sam only had 2 Gearhulks. And since they have Supreme Will, they're probably playing Sam's deck. So I only have to beat 3 cards. 3 threats. Although they have been discarding Essence Scatters, so it's possible that I could even force through a threat of my own. But right now, we're on the deck them plan. We'll see if that changes. The Gearhulk is not a big deal since we can contempt it. The Scarab Gods we absolutely have to counter, though. Because Scarab God can become more Gearhulks. Alright, so they're hitting their land drops, so that's pretty good for them. We bricked. Another search would not be the worst thing. We definitely cannot tap out for this threat. And, you know, we're not tapping out, but we're tapping low. Maybe once we have, like, another 20 lands in play, we'll be comfortable tapping 5 mana. I could just discard the Scarab God, but I think I only need 1 Contempt to fight over the 1 Gearhulk. Illumination or Censor? Extraction, well, there are 2 fields. Extraction we could just leave in the deck to have an additional card, but I really don't want to draw it at some point, so I'm just going to pick it up. Land? And more cards to discard. Cool. Should just yield to everything. Never going to respond unless they put a creature on the stack. What's more fun, this or watching paint dry? I'm really not sure. Well, they have 3 more lands than me, which is bad times. What's the worst that could happen if I do this? They could maybe resolve a Gear Hulk. Alright, Illumination's tight. Can I actually cast it here? I don't think I can cast it. I could maybe cycle it. We are way up on time also. We're up 5 minutes. That is huge. Hopefully it doesn't come down to that, because that's not a very satisfying ending, but... I'm just going to ditch the Scarab God. My counter spells are way more relevant. Yeah, keep milling yourself. Keep doing it. Oh, so they have extraction mains. They're not Sam's deck? They're like an amalgam, maybe? This could be dangerous because they could Gear Hulk me. Yeah. It's tough. You miss land drops, you start panicking, and they just let it go. Wild. All right. Do they actually keep missing? I have no idea. So they're likely going to try and fight over a Scarab God. Should be good with my 4 counterspells, though. Alright, their contempts. 2 contempts are gone. Cycle Sensor, okay. Field of Ruin is cute. So now they have Azcanta advantage. It's not really a big deal, though. The real question is, do I ever just jam this Scarab God? I don't think I have to. That would leave me with only 6 mana, so I could only play 2 threats. So yeah, whatever. Scarab God down. I guess I could discard Contempt. Because what could realistically end up happening is they go for Scarab God, I win a counter war over it, and they're going to try and fight another counter war on their next turn, but I could just land a Scarab God and like have infinity Gear Hulks. So if they're out of Gear Hulks, then this Contempt doesn't do anything. So yeah, I probably should keep Scarab God over that. Otherwise, I'll just be chilling, letting you mill yourself out. So playing Swamp allows me to have all these counter spells open. So I'm going to do that. Not really sure what's happening. Why they keep activating this. Like, they had to have stacked their deck by now. And known what they're going to draw and stuff. Yeah, Field of Ruin, whatever. A little too late. Let's see if this deck you plan works out. Alright, so now I have 2 mana past past what I actually need for my 5 counter spells. Fun stuff. Just as Richard Garfield intended, right? Alright, so they have a disallow, which I could already assume at this point. Probably don't need these graveyards either. Let's make the battlefield a little bit bigger. I'm going to try and hit some land drops here. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this Vraska's Contempt is just a dead card, so. Well, that Fatal Push is an even deader card. Let's see what they're discarding. More Contempts. Alright. 6 counterspell, that's good. More Gearhulks, man. So I could scatter this, or I could just let it resolve and contempt it. So they have 3 disallows. 3 disallow mana, disallow manas up and an Azcanta. Huh. Think I could just let this hit and then fight over Contempt at their end of turn. But that's my last Contempt, so I would need Scarab God. So if I fight over this, they're going to have 3 disallows. So I'm going to need 4 counter spells. So this is going to be 11. And then I'm going to have a scatter for a Scarab God and a scatter for their disallow. Like they're going to disallow my scatter. I'm just going to rescatter their Scarab God. Man, 3rd Gearhulk. Gearhulk is so good. I don't really like fighting over this on my turn. But if they have all 4 disallows, which they should, then they should be able to win the counter war over this, and then I need to actually find an answer to the Gearhulk. So, I don't know. I have enough mana for all my counter spells, plus a mana for Censor, although I should check how many Censors they have left. They do have 1 left. I really don't want to fight over this. Yeah. All right, so 2 disallows down, 2 left, presumably. Possible I should be using some disallows here, but I don't know. I think I should be okay in the mana departments. So 3 disallows gone. I should be safe to do this. I guess they do have 1 sensor left. But alright. Okay, that's a good one. I'm sure they have an Essence Scatter, but still not bad. Oh, they discarded 3 scatters, I don't know. Here comes the other god. I guess I should fight over that scatter, because then I would end up with a Gear Hulk. Yeah, that would have been better. Yeah. Killed all your threats, deck you, etc., etc. Good times. Good times. So also get to cut another card. It's either a Censor or a Contempt. But you can definitely like shave on scatters. The mirror is kind of weird post-board, depending on what they have. Like, I would imagine that they're probably copying Raptor's list instead of Kelvin's. So probably no like 2-3 death touches. But those are actually pretty good in the mirror too. Excuse me. Yeah, I'll just cut a Censor. Yeah, this is not great. Could get run over by Search. Also not making land drops, so not great. Don't tap mana. Tilt. Oh, tilt. Oh, this is bad. Too many counterspells. Being on the draw. Not having Swamp. There's not a big reason to just duress immediately. Just basically just wait until you're going to try and force something through. Lands. Lands for now until the rest of the game. Thank you. Hope I draw land 5 and then search. That's what I hope. If I don't hit a land, I'm basically forced to cast Duress, so I don't... Because otherwise I would discard a business spell anyway. Could obviously discard Scarab God. It's not like a big loss or anything, but... I'm fine with this getting negated because I definitely don't want them to untap and play a threat. Yeah, same deal. Really can't tap out. And they have search advantage, so bad times. I could counter this. I've done worse things. I think trading with 2 of their cards is better than potentially discarding somewhere down the line. Yeah, sure. All my cards are the same. Enjoy. Took my Jace's defeat. It's probably the slightly better pick just because it hits the creatures and the spells, so it's like a disallow for 2 mana. Definitely going to cycle this Censor, but didn't want to do it on my turn because I wanted 2 counter spells open potentially, in case they went like, I don't know. I guess if they went Duress Scarab God, it doesn't really matter, but... This doesn't seem like it'll work. Basically, like, I duress them, they show me 5 spells that don't kill creatures or counter things, and then I play Scarab God. So, casting Duress here is probably pretty bad. Just, like, helps them flip their search faster. It's just bad. I should not cast this. Three disallows, clone, and a Gearhulk. Clone is okay in the mirror. It's exactly okay. So they're not putting cards in their graveyard and they're not making land drops. So they're drawing more business spells. If I get to untap, I guess, yeah, sure, keep the Censor. I don't get it, but they kept 2 Censors, or they cycled into 1. Oh, the value, searching away the clone, and they didn't transform Escanta. That is legit, I suppose. I could just jam this into a counter spell, which I kind of like, because this is like my turn. Past this, they could potentially have like mana for threat plus counter spell. So if I get to trade a threat with a counter spell, I'm pretty happy about that. Otherwise, the threat would kind of just rot in my hand. Kind of stinks that I drew Illumination on that turn, because I would love to cast this and like have this help me make my land drops or get to a search or something, but that was a good window. Gearhulk is not bad. Get to fight on my opponent's turn at some point, but they are as canting, which is never great. I got a Duress, which is quite good. They could just Duress me now. I have plenty of counter... Well, I would have 1 counter spell, so they could, like, Gearhulk negate, which stinks. Really want to cast this draw too, but I don't think I can. Well, they just took a disallow anyway. I'm done with that. Gante? Ooh, Glimmer too. Yeah, we're just gonna do the same thing. Like, if... I guess I could play Gonti and have 2 scatters open. Definitely not gonna fight over Illumination. They could just clone my Gonti, though, which is not great. Not great for me. Could have snuck a Gear Hulk in there, I guess. But then they could Vizier clone it. So I don't know. I don't think I'm supposed to fight over Bloodfast. I really don't. I am adamant about that. It's possible that I'm going to lose this game anyway, but like... Even, why would I fight over this when they have Escanta already? You know? Yeah, I'm just going to top both these, whatever. I want lands. Doing my best, trying to keep up. Still haven't found a search or a field. What you got? Ooh, Duress. I like Duress. Is it better for me to just take a Gear Hulk, though? Like, Duress is basically just like, target player discards a card. All their cards do the same stuff. I could see taking any one of these, actually. I feel like I should probably take the additional threat. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to take the Gear Hulk. Give me a threat. I could potentially just concede this game because I do think I'm losing. And I kind of want to play game 3 where we both have time, but I also want to see how this game would play out. Like, see if I can beat active Azcanta Bloodfast. I don't really like casting Clone. I do think that they should probably flashback the one that they have, although I could just disallow that. I don't know. Yeah, search is cool. So I have Gear Hulk plus disallow. I have a disallow in my graveyard. I could be walking into Censor, but that's okay. Every hit with Gonti is one less card they draw off Bloodfast, which is another reason why I don't really like Bloodfast, because if your opponent ever sticks a threat, your Bloodfast is pretty bad. I think I'm just gonna Gear Hulk this. Like, not Gear Hulk the Azcanta, but I am gonna Gear Hulk, well, they are Azcanta-ing. Now we are good on lands. So they can clone my Gear Hulk, which is fine. They really do need like a Contempt or something to actually get rid of it. I could maybe resolve a Scarab God, I guess, which would be pretty bad. 5, Counterspell, and if they have a land drop, they can activate, but their land's a Temple of Tilt. Yeah, whatever. Ah, you got me. You got me so good. Gonti is white. Aetherborn Rogue Zombie. Alright, you got one of my Duresses. And you took one of my Disallows. Alright. I'm gonna fight you with both. So I could Gear Hulk, disallow their disallow. And then draw some cards. I think I like that. Again, pretty risky against Scarab God, but they already have one gone. Ooh, scatter. Could dress or hold up and scatter. I like scatter. I think they still have 2 disallows. I don't know. They have 2 in their graveyard. It's hard to say. Whatever. I'm just going to dismiss all those cards. I don't know what's actually happening. Now they could Scarab God me. That'd be bad. I just want to embalm the clone. Gonti me again. And contempt. With my own contempt. Alright. Disallow contempt Gear Hulk. So I have no way to remove Gonti. Guess I could have another Gear Hulk. Gear Hulk contempt. Okay. I mean, yeah, you were going to lose on time, I guess, but I don't know. I was almost certainly going to lose that game, right? I get to, like, defeat this. He counters it, resolves a thing. He has contempt, I guess, so I should trade that turn. Yeah, winning game 1 is good. That, depending on how fast or slow your opponent plays, that might be good enough for a live tournament, but yeah, it is kind of sad that it's like, I'm 10 minutes up in a control mirror, and that's kind of how it is in real life too. Like, no one ever gets penalized for taking more time off the clock. So yeah, it just kind of is what it is. There's no good fix, but we'll take the dub.